Where you're at now, it's a constant humidity. There's virtually no sunlight coming out from the canopy, so it's very dark. But there are small floating orbs of light that are just kind of almost like fireflies, just kind of drifting around, that lights this area up. As soon as you walk out, you are immediately met by calf-deep water. Your boots fill, and it's generally uncomfortable. There's a heavy smell of sitting water, and bugs are flying around. Sometimes you're stopping to smack them on your neck or your shoulders or whatever there is, but you believe that trying to fend off these bugs is definitely a losing game.
I say we rest for an hour.
I do not want to disappoint this coven. That seems like it would be not good for our health. Did we get the impression that this was, like, she wants them? Is there a ticking timer on this?
You get the impression with any powerful foe. It's better to just do what they want sooner than later.
So that's what, that would be Zale's inclination. That I know you guys are messed up, but I'm concerned that waiting, we're going to upset them.
I would really suggest we wait an hour. Can I tell them?
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah, so this skull I found, his name is Modius.
That's a shitty name. Anyway, continue.
Look, I don't exactly know the full details of it, but he'll help us fight. But he may also...
Where did you find him?
Oh, I stole him off the hag living in the troll house.
Oh, that's always a good idea. But continue.
Point being, you need to attune yourselves to him. We take this hour and he won't attack you.
All of us need to attune?
I'm attuned.
Oh.
You two need to attune. You just need to sit with him for an hour.
How long of a path is this? Or do we not have any idea how far we have to go?
You don't have an idea of how far you have to go. You've just been given a direction with the understanding that you'll probably figure it out. Or get eaten by something.
Well, now that we're alone from people, I'm going to give you a book that I have. The one remaining book I have. I was trying to save this from Milo Fuckface, but here you go. You got one book.
Okay, do I know what's in this book?
The book that you have, it just looks to be like a shipmate's journal. Mm-hmm. As you just kind of thumb through it, it's a lot of personal thoughts, a little bit of their philosophies. There's really nothing terribly interesting in it.
I know you were looking for paper.
The paper actually comes in handy. Mm-hmm. Are there any blank pages near the end of it?
Yes, there's only about halfway filled out.
Sweet.
And then I also wanted to give you the rusted shield I've been holding on to for scrap metal.
Okay, that could be a future thing.
Do you want me to hold on to it?
Well, is there any way, in a way that would be useful to either Addie or myself, that I could,
screw me, right?
Hook... Well, because, no, here's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm saying this out... I'm not saying out loud, but I'm kind of... Would there be any way of hooking it in a way to fashion sort of makeshift armor on one side of your body? Yeah. With a vine? Yes.
There's absolutely there's a way that you can do that. This is going to be, because this is going to be metal, this is going to be considered a heavier armor. And it's going to be difficult, and it will impose some disadvantages on you. But it'll definitely raise your AC.
What would the disadvantages be?
Because it's just roughly strapped to your body, there is going to be stealth disadvantages, and dexterity saving throws will be put at a disadvantage. Because it's not made to flex. You're just putting a steel brace in the front of you.
What about on the back?
Same.
It's still not gonna... Okay. Well, then that's not worth doing. Well, what I was thinking when we do go in, according to Baba Ya, these things have to be... First of all, ideally, we don't fight them. You can pick stuff up with magic, correct?
Yes.
So if we could sneak in and just take stuff without getting caught, that would be the best option. But if we do have to fight...
We can just light it on fire.
She said we have to kill it with poison.
That's right.
You can't do that. Speaking of which, and Zale will go over to Addie and kind of like grab his hands and flip them over so she can look at the palms, which I'm assuming, because she had one of those daggers for like a hot second.
Yeah, he does.
It's kind of scratched up.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me your stick dagger things?
Sure.
And I will like tear off, this is why I was asking earlier, tear off, the other sleeve and a little bit more of the first sleeve or something, and like make handles, because then if you get scratched up while these things are covered in poison, that's not good.
That's true.
You could maybe get poisoned.
The poison which is specifically made that you're to use it on this creature.
Which I'm currently in possession of.
You are currently in possession of.
I think the best option for you is to stay back and do like battlefield control. Can you do that sort of thing? Like just stop them from running places, inconvenience them?
You still have grease, right?
Yes.
Theoretically, we could set a perimeter with... If we're fighting in a swamp, which I'd look around, I'm assuming, I could literally set the perimeter, have it greased, and just create a grease fire that they can't get through.
Oh, also, I have a flask if you wanted to create water, fill it. That would add to our grease fire.
I don't think it would, because we've got water around us anyways.
Yeah, but this is stagnant water. I'm not sure if it would have the same effect.
Water and a grease fire, I think, are always not good.
Yeah, but look, I'm an offensive wizard. I'm evocation specifically.
I understand, but if these things are dangerous, and if you can't fight with a weapon, you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, so I can stay out of the way. I can set up a perimeter that they're not going to escape from.
You can still hit them, and that will still throw them off of the two of us, but get yourself out of the way. Mm-hmm. Get yourself out of the way.
In the meantime, I do think we take this hour, let you to attune to Modius here, and we can throw him into the fight.
What does he do?
I don't exactly know, but he said something about fire.
Oh, good.
But I figure Flaming Skull on our side, better than Flaming Skull not on our side.
I would be concerned. We're still kind of in their territory. Not kind of, we are. They knew Addie's name. They just knew it. You need to watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just knew it. He didn't say anything. He didn't give anything away.
Oh, look, if they know I have it, and they didn't do anything to me, understanding that I took it, then I think we're safe in that our goal into getting these eggs is more important to them than whatever Modius did that he was punished for. But why don't we ask him? Can I pull him out of, the satchel I have?
You pull out and you reveal that there's just a humanoid, white, bleached skull.
This is Modius.
And it talks to you?
It talks to all of us. Say something.
Start shaking it. Oh.
Did I just steal a random... Oh, fantastic. So they can't hear you? Will they hear you if they're attuned to you? So, what did you do to be this thing? You're a demon. What kind of demon? What do you do as a demon? What do you do fighting-wise as a demon? What can you do now as a skull? So you're fire-wise. And so why would they summon you? How long have you been in the skull? Can I get you out of the skull and you won't kill me?
Theo.
Yeah? Do you guys not hear him?
Addie, backs away slowly, closer to Zale, alright.
Theo, here's the thing. Number one, I don't know anything about covens. But creatures like that, very rarely do things come without a price. So they may have let you take that. So my point from earlier still stands. Number two, what is he telling you?
He's a demon.
Okay, then no, you do not let him out.
Yeah,
period.
That's a big red flag right there.
Okay, they summoned him, they stuck him in the skull, and he can spit fire at enemies.
That's great. And, I mean, if there's a way of... I don't know.
And he says you're being a pussy. Any response? He says you're right. Oh,
yep.
God, they're gonna get along, aren't they? There's a look on my face that just immediately regrets every decision I've made up to this point. How about we do this? We sit here for an hour, so you two can hear him, so I don't have to keep doing this back and forth.
It doesn't... Ow.
I I just want to say, you read a lot of stories, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever read a story where anyone attuned to a demon and it turned out well for them?
What story can you think of? Do I need to put you back in the bag? I understand that. How would that work? Wait a minute. If I put you on a belt, like rope belt, will they just by being near me attune to you, and we don't have to sit here
Theo,
for a minute?
you can only attune I can't attune to your cape.
No, but he said.
If I attune to your cape, you're not attuned to it.
Can you attune to multiple people?
I don't want to attune to him.
Okay, I just stick him back in the bag. I could just leave him here.
He never answered my question, so I'm assuming there are no stories.
Obviously, there are no stories where attuning to a demon is a good thing.
See?
But I got swindled by a skull. I'm a child. Back off me.
You keep saying
Trust
you
me, no
are or
one's
you
on
aren't,
you.
Theo. You got to pick one side of the fence to play on. Either you're not a child, as you said when we first met, or you are one. It's time to decide which one you are.
I just kind of get like a sad puppy dog walk going on. I throw you the bag.
You don't have a bag. We don't have bags. You shoved them in your pocket.
Sure.
Okay, I throw you the skull.
I drop them in the water.
Am I gonna, like, if I'm separated from him, am I gonna just hear him constantly?
Maybe. Until you want to tune. Until you want to tune.
How do I unattune?
Takes an hour.
Can I unattune from him as we're walking away?
Man.
If you want to take a short rest, it'll take an hour. And if you want to attune to the skull, you can.
The only one who's injured is him.
Yeah,
You're injured too. You got shoved by the troll.
I don't have any damage, though.
I need to regain, like, 8 hit points or I will die.
Both of you.
I think
got
I
hurt.
rolled for hit dice when we were in Boyo's thing.
But that way you couldn't. You weren't resting.
No?
So, let's do it like this. You can take your hit dice as you walk.
Okay.
If you want to stop to attune to this thing, you guys can. If you don't want to, you leave it away, and you'll eventually just unattune from it. The distance will be too great for the attunement to remain.
What happens if I walk again near it?
You don't know. It might try to attune back to you.
Okay. I go in the direction Baba Yasa. I don't say another word. I get a very defeated look on my face and just start walking along.
Modius is sitting in the puddle. All around me are familiar faces.
Theo, hang on. We need to sort out, before we go too far, we need to sort out the poison.
I throw you the vial.
Don't throw me things.
I'm clumsy. Don't do this.
Fine, I throw Addie the vial.
Alright, I'll catch it. Try.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're not speaking at 15 feet apart from each other. It's a relatively close conversation.
Right.
So do you want to be walking away while you have this discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to use my hit dice.
Okay.
Use the tray, Connor.
He rolled
Still
the same
fuck.
thing.
Yeah.
Hey.
There we go. I'm saved.
That's better.
So as you go walking away, who will be holding the poison?
Addie.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Your daggers have been wrapped so that you no longer take damage using them.
Cool. Yay.
And you begin to start making your way through this swamp. Now, I'm going to need a survival from someone.
I got a 0 in that.
You don't want that to be me. Who's got a decent wisdom score?
I'm hoping the cleric.
Yeah.
Soft 20.
Okay.
There we go.
As you've been making your way through the swamp, you have been noticing that these orbs, these floating orbs about the area, they've just kind of lessened the further you get away from this hut. And eventually you come to a point where the sun does start cutting through this heavier canvas, and it starts to light more naturally. You get the idea that you're somewhere near the end of the day. As you were walking through the swamp, you were traveling for about an hour and a half. Whatever discussions you've had, whatever line you were walking through, you found that there is an area of the swamp. It was a raised area. And standing, there seems to be statues.
Alright then.
Can I either history or arcana check them?
Sure.
Which one would you?
Whichever you like. Just let me know which one it is.
Well, they're both proficient, so
Whichever one you want.
I'll say history. The 9.
With a 9, as you kind of look at this, you are reminded of fine art galleries of pristine carvings from marble, and they look to be like that. They look to be very lifelike.
I'll use one of my hero points.
Okay.
Man, you're just going through those, huh?
I've got one left.
You have 4 now.
3.
Oh, I'll have 3 left.
Yeah.
Comes a 14.
Okay. The idea of seeing these in museums and art galleries of these lifelike statues, you're told that there was once said to be a scandal that there was a single statue in one of these nearby galleries near your home, was that it was carved so well, so perfectly, that it fell under suspicion. That it was either divinely carved by the gods and it was this amazing artifact, or it was made from much darker means, such as petrification.
And these statues look like that particular statue?
Well, there's no reason why an art gallery is out in the middle of a swamp.
True. Then I'm going to further up with an Arcana check to, feel for magics.
Okay.
Shrek likes his art, okay?
What kind of poses are these statues in?
Well, go ahead and give me the Arcana check.
21.
Of the many creatures that have the ability to petrify people, to turn them immediately to stone, the one that you could probably think of as the most likely in the area would be something called a cockatrice, which is essentially a giant lizard-like bird.
Yeah, isn't it like a rooster?
Yes. And it has a gaze that can turn you to stone, which it will then eat you.
Can they be tamed as mounts? I want a pet.
You two talk about my demon skull. She wants the petrifying
joking.
cock.
It's I still want a griffin, though. I still want a griffin so bad, you guys.
Anything can be tamed with enough work.
Titled this session, Zale wants to ride everything.
Zale wants to ride that cock.
Oh.
So, I do relay this information that if it's petrification, it could be a cockatrice. I send a glare over at Addie not to, do not make the joke. And then I return back to we need to move.
I would like to roll into stealth.
Okay.
I would like to roll to make the joke.
I was almost 20.
Your costumes are not useful here.
Oh, wait, I didn't.
Just so you know.
My tree costume won't work?
Will not work here.
The swamp.
Yeah,
There were trees in the swamp.
It's too different of terrain.
23.
23?
Yep.
Seeing that, you just kind of begin to crouch down, and the water starts to kind of fill to your knees.
That's fine. I'm alive.
Watching Addie, immediately go into
Stealth mode.
Yeah. I'm also gonna try and stealth.
Is there any local flora that might be helpful?
16.
All right, you begin to crouch down into the water, too. Zale, you had a question.
Is there any local plants that I might, again, be able to sort of stealth better with?
Go ahead and roll me a survival.
Like moss. Drake
Like
moss
a moss?
Moss. No, like a... I don't even... Where is it? What am I doing now? I forgot.
Survival.
Survival. Okay.
That is a 5.
That's a 5.
I like that it went right under the DM screen.
Good.
That is a bad roll.
So I don't see anything useful.
No.
I'm just gonna stealth then.
Can I, stealth away from everyone? Because I have bad experiences with that. Because last time I tried to stealth in an area I thought was dangerous, Adela failed her stealth, and then we all got fucked.
That's true. Yeah, so you can kind of start sneaking away from them.
Just... Nope.
18 stealth.
Wow, you
Okay.
suck.
All right. So if you want to continue traveling in stealth, it'll take much, much longer. And as you kind of look up, you see that you don't know how long it'll take for you to get to the destination, but you may burn out your sunlight by that time.
I just want to get away from the cockatrice.
Okay, so you just kind of want to move for a time that you feel safe.
Yes.
You don't want to continue this journey in stealth.
No, just get us away from the petrifying cock.
Well said. With that, you move out of this area and you find some more breaks. There's certainly no path to walk on, but having sunlight kind of reinforces a bit of safety in your minds. The swamp smells, and it is an unrelenting humidity that starts to kind of pull on you.
Start a button in the shirt.
Oh no.
No, don't do that.
I'm already greasy. Who gives a fuck?
It's true, yeah. Actually, if Addie lays down, he floats. Give me Constitution saving throws.
Alright. I'll take it.
Theo, what'd you get?
I got a 6.
Addie?
12.
7.
Man.
As you all go walking, there is an unavoidable need to rub your eyes.
Oh no.
The smell becomes worse and worse, and you get sick. You have sight rot. You have a -1 to attack rolls and ability checks that rely on sight.
That's always a good sign.
And you have a -1 to your passive perception.
Oh good, it was already 10.
Well, you don't have it. You didn't, or did we all not pass?
Everyone failed.
Oh, no.
I'm down to a 12.
I was hoping 12 was enough.
Your eyes begin to burn and itch, and it's getting harder and harder to see out of them. And when you kind of look down at your hands, you see that a little bit of blood's coming out of them.
Oh good.
Okay.
Oedipus.
Your journey continues, and you eventually come across what looks like a small encampment of something. You can see figures moving against the shadow of the large trees from the setting sun. You see that there's a fire that is just kind of sitting on top of what looks like a stick structure with a bowl in the middle. There's a very loosely built tent that is essentially just made out of some sort of cloth thrown over and somehow tied to probably roots that just makes a roof that ones could hide underneath. You see just some loose movement in the bushes nearby, but you do find yourself about 30 feet away. What do you want to do?
Stealth.
Yup.
Alright, go ahead and throw some stealth.
Oh.
A natural
What
20.
the
Yes.
fuck?
Is that another natural 20? What did Addie get?
I got 15.
Ooh. So that's 2 20s and a 15.
Yeah.
You all crouch down and hide in some bushes. A little bit of... Yes?
I was gonna ask if I could use the only inspiration I have to try to roll better than that, because if I'm the one that fucks up stealth, there's something wrong here.
If you want, go ahead.
I gotta use it before you take it away.
It's true.
Oh my god, I rolled worse!
You get to pick which one, though.
Take the 15.
Take the 15.
As you kneel down into the water and begin to press yourself into the bushes to sit quietly, there doesn't seem to be any reaction from whatever things are moving in the shadows nearby. What do you guys want to do?
What do they look like?
You don't have a good look on them yet. Do you want to make a perception check?
Yes. Now, how does this get affected by my eye rot?
Well, that has got to be a -1.
Wait a minute. I throw my hand up and just say, I think I can make this a bit easier. I'm going to use prestidigitation to conjure some sort of image outside of where they're rustling in the bushes. See if I can't draw them out.
Okay. We'll say that that's a little bit further into the encampment to pull them into the middle. You can still... You're basically just looking. So go ahead and give that roll.
Do I get any kind of bonus from that?
No, not at all. What are you conjuring?
Just some flashing lights.
Okay. Alright, so you just create some sensory effects that then may lead them out. The reason why you don't get anything is because you're looking, it'll take him time to cast, and just how quickly it takes for you to look at somewhere to cast something, you're just doing it first.
15.
15. What you see as Theo begins to start conjuring this effect in his hand is that they're bipedal creatures. They seem to be actually wearing some sort of cloth. And they have spears. They look like frogs.
Oh.
Well,
The frog-toad people.
And they become a little bit clearer as 3 of them move out of the bushes. 2 of them stay back and kind of duck down in the bushes, but one of them just runs out.
The 2 in the bushes are
hang
fucking...
on.
You said there's a tent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use my mage hand to try to, disassemble the tent real quick? Just pull one of the...
We're 30 feet away. How far does
No.
my chant go?
30 feet.
That'll work. All right, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
Alright.
Because of this, I'm going to give him disadvantage on his perception check against you guys.
Okay, better. Working on it. That will be 18.
Your invisible hand reaches up and pulls on a rope, and a loud of cloth falling into the water. He quickly turns and moves his spear in that direction and starts slowly walking towards the fallen tent.
Do I see anything that's in the tent? I was hoping that was where the eggs were or something. I don't know. I don't know what these are, so...
You weren't able to see what was in the tent. It had
Just
a nice
gonna take
shadow
everyone's
cast into it.
Okay.
The other two in the bushes, they start creeping out. They have their spears down. They seem like they're on alert.
So we've got all 5 of them out?
There are 3.
You know what I kind of want to do when I turn to you guys, like, whispering? I could Ray of Frost the swamp and kind of freeze them in place.
They could be friendly. I mean, we don't know that they are, but they might be friendly.
Do you want to take the chance?
When has anything ever been friendly to us?
Yeah. Like, best case... And it's slowly clicking in Theo's mind that...
No one's your friend.
Yeah. Best case scenario, they don't want to cook us for their dinner. I'm going to go with we're prime course 1, 2, and 3.
I mean, if you want to go talk to them, I'd be happy to sit here while you do it.
You can go have fun with that. I learned my lesson with the demon skull.
Man, character development.
I know, right? I'm becoming a real boy. That had to have been in character.
Alright, so it sounds like you guys have some actions planned. Whether you want to pursue that they might be friendly, or whether they might be foes. Let's just do a round of initiative.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to roll whoever has the highest is where we're going to start at on the table. Zale, we're going to start with you. Do you want to keep your parry and punish loaded?
They're coming towards us.
They don't know where you're at.
They're
the way
looking.
they look is, it looks like they're beginning to investigate their small camp.
And how do they look? I mean, you said they look like frog people, but, you know, are they dressed... Do they look more kind of wild and woolly? Do they look like they're civilized? You know what I mean?
Roll me an insight.
Yeah, proficiency.
They're sitting there drinking tea with their spears.
I say, our tent fell down. We should see what happened to it.
They're discussing the latest issue of the New Yorker.
No. No, insight? No, I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, the best you can glean is that there is an amount of civilization in them, that they are dressed, that they are wearing clothing, and they have weapons.
They're also big fans of Bach.
So they are, at very least, beyond primitive. It is going to then go up to these creatures. The one who stepped out first is going to be investigating his tent. The other 2 are going to step out, and they will both make perception checks against stealths. With that being done, number 2, with his spear down, is going to start walking in the direction of your party.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
He is going to alert number 1, who's also going to be moving in this direction.
Does he explicitly see us, or does he know something's there and is coming to, like, investigate?
You see that they have both walked a few paces there, but don't really seem to act further on it now.
Okay.
But a growl seems to come from behind them, and it draws their attention back.
Alright. Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna continue with the plan I had, which was try to get everyone focused on that tent. I was gonna mage hand, put it, like, underneath the tent, and try to, like, move it like there's an animal in there or something.
Okay.
Try to lure everyone.
I want you to roll a sleight of hand.
Alright.
But I don't want you to add your dexterity to it.
Okay.
I want you to add your charisma.
Okay.
So if you're proficient with it, roll charisma plus sleight of hand.
Okay.
As you're trying to deceive them and make it look like something else.
Okay. Whoa. Alright. That is... Soft 20.
Your mage hand starts kind of bobbing up and down. In 3 quickly slams his spear down, impaling the tent.
Just keep fucking with him.
And just kind of hopping away from it, he spears again. Some sort of game of violent whack-a-mole.
Yeah, that's what I like. I did want to use my bonus action to hide.
Okay, go ahead and reroll stealth.
Cool.
They have a good idea that something's over here. For you to hide again, you need to move a minimum 15 feet.
Okay. No problem. Alright. That's better than it was. Jesus. 18.
Okay. Which direction do you want to move?
Back.
Okay.
I am the brave rogue.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
They're drawn away by whatever was growling, right? They're not focused on us.
They look over their shoulders. Now you can get the idea that their attention is split between something they don't know is in front of them and something they think is terrifying.
Okay,
might be behind them.
I pick a spot about 10 feet in front of them, so like right about Mia,
Okay.
and I cast Ray of Frost far enough out that it will hopefully coat the swamp beds, like
Okay.
freeze them in place.
Ray of Frost could only do like a 5-foot square. You
Okay.
wouldn't be able to hit them both.
So then here.
It would just fill that area. It wouldn't stop them.
Okay.
It's traditionally meant to target a creature,
Yeah.
but we've been using it in a non-traditional way.
I want them to feel it, and I don't want them to see it's coming from our direction.
Now the spell will fire as a ray from your hand,
Yes, let's
so it's going to come from your hand. But
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Give me a sleight of hand check. Now you have a natural 20 in stealth, and because you haven't done anything that would reveal yourself, if your sleight of hand fails and is defeated by their perception, you have revealed yourself fully. But if your sleight of hand can beat their perception, you can do that without them knowing where you're at.
Okay, I'll take my chance. This dice fails me now.
I can't move.
18.
Okay. As you see them crouching forward, you press your hand down into the water and you cast your spell, and you see the water just begin to freeze like a vein underneath their feet, and behind them a solid 5-foot square of ice just solidifies. And they quickly turn down and look at it. There seems to be confusion of something hidden in front of them, something directly behind them freezing, and a monster that might be lurking further behind.
In the tent, going whack-a-mole.
Hear them make croaking noise at each other.
Does anyone speak frog? I gave up my ability to speak Dwarven. I don't know if they're like...
It's Dwarven!
I don't know if
Dwarven sound enough like frog voices.
Are there common vowels?
Does it sound like Elvish?
Zale.
I'm gonna hold.
That growling continues further behind them. They're going to take their turns and they're going to move over to this guy who's stabbing, and they get his attention, and you hear just low croaking between them.
Thought about being a dick and having the mage hand like lift the tent like it's a ghost.
They don't appear to be doing much else than having a conversation. Go back over to Theo.
Okay, so I froze a block of ice in front of them. What do I have? You know what I'm gonna do? So if they're holding a conversation, I'm going to press the digitation again.
Okay.
Can I like make a dancing image in the flame?
Yeah.
Has a range of 10 feet. I just looked it up.
Press the digitation? Mm-hmm. Okay, never mind.
I was totally thinking about doing that, and I was like, oh, nope.
Yeah, it's just out of range.
Can I sneak up that far?
Yeah, you need the action to hide again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna hold 2 and wait to see what they do.
Okay. Eddie? You're out of range for your mage hand now.
Yes. Yeah, because I was thinking about putting out the fire just to continue to fuck with them. This campsite's haunted. But now it's 10 feet, so... Can't do that. I'm going to try to stealth my way a little closer so that I can kind of keep an eye on them
Okay.
and see what the fuck's going on with that roar or the growl, whatever. So, do you want me to make another stealth check as I get closer, or?
Sure, give it a quick roll.
Okay. Whew. Thought I jinxed myself for a second. That's a soft 20.
You can see they're just kind of 3 together, just trying to defend themselves.
Yes. Do I get any glimpse of what's in the tent now that he's stabbed it a lot?
No.
It was just an empty tent?
No, you don't know that it's empty. It's just when
Okay.
he stabbed it, water just kind of boiled up and starts sinking.
He's obviously not afraid of it going down into the water.
Right.
Though.
Which is a good thing.
Alright, and then the area around it, is there any, is there anything going on around that I can tell?
Roll me a perception check.
With -1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check or an investigation, whichever one you think might be more pertinent for you.
Okay. I'll do investigation. Oh, that would be 8.
You really can't read anything more off of what you're seeing then.
Okay.
So?
Can I start quietly moving around?
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
12.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna do a hero point. I haven't used one this entire time.
Oh, that's a soft brag.
Well, no, there are times I wish I had and I didn't think about it, honestly. So, that's not, and 15.
Which direction do you want to be moving?
They're on one side, I want to head the opposite. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put you about there.
Okay.
You are going to hear them croak out in common. Rat, Buffo! Rat, minions! Rat, reveal self! Rat.
Bafo?
You know what I'm gonna do?
What's that?
I'm gonna stand up and walk towards the fire.
As you stand up and walk towards the fire, revealing yourselves, the 3 frog-like figures turn to look at you, but they do not hurl their spears or move to you aggressively. They look very confused.
And I respond in common. You can understand me.
Rat. Yes?
What are you doing here?
Rat. Refugees. Rat. Chased from land.
Who chased you?
Rat. Buffo.
Who is Bafo?
Rat. Demon frog.
Fantastic.
I'll come out.
Okay.
Addie, you want to come out? They know. What?
I said no.
Okay, so you're back there. That's fine.
I keep going. Do you know the lay of the land around here?
Theo, that's what we're looking for. Demon frog.
I know. Can you lead us to Bafo?
Rat. Yes. Rat. They're in our home.
We will help you take back your home if you help us get eggs.
How many of them?
Rat. Buffo is one. Rat. But he has taken our people. Rat.
We'll help you liberate your people, and we will help you kill Bafo if you can get us Bafo's eggs.
Rat. We'll give you anything to help our home. Rat. But we are the only survivors. Rat. And we will not return until it is safe.
But tell us more about Bafo.
Rat. He is big and red. Rat. He came from the ground in the night. Rat. And he has been consuming our people. Rat. And chased us from our lands.
How does he attack? What are things that we need? I mean, if we're going to be doing this, we need to know what to look out for.
Rat. He is large with large claws. Rat. That she renders flesh from. Rat. He can eat whole people whole. Rat. Wholly.
They can't eat half people whole?
Rat. He could if he tried. Rat. I am Froggo. Rat. This is my wife, Frogini, she says. Rat. Nice to meet you. And the other frogman steps forward and he goes, Rat. And I'm Jeff.
I knew it. I was gonna say Jim.
How big, compared to yourselves, or us, I suppose, are they taller than us or the same height?
They're about the same height as you.
How big is Bafo?
Rat. He's really big.
Thanks, Jeff. Like,
I cut
twice
everything.
your height, twice your height, twice your size, 3 times your size.
Rat. Yeah, maybe twice our size.
Okay.
We don't know what they're doing with our people. He is a demon.
It's something sexual.
I believe he has enslaved them.
Theo happens to be real good friends with demons.
It would be useful to have one on your side. He is evil, an evil demon prince of frogs.
Idea. I motioned for Zale to, like, give us one moment.
Do I
Okay.
Do I know anything about demon frog princes?
Go ahead and give me
Does
a
anyone
religion
know?
check.
13.
There is said to be, in what is known as the planes of chaos, there are said to be beings of pure chaotic evil. They're most commonly expressed in the material plane as creatures known as Slod.
Theo, have you ever heard anything about Slod?
Can I history check that?
Yeah, go ahead.
14.
You know that they are kind of just randomly dropped from the plane of chaos, and they do have a temperament in which they try and dominate and consume before moving forward.
Okay. Here's my idea. It's kind of callow, but follow along. I'm assuming I'm whispering to her.
The two of you are in kind of a small huddle.
Yeah. Look, if he's eating them, we could kill them, put the poison on one, and be done with this.
Depends on whether he likes live prey.
Hey, he might not eat them if they're dead.
You're not.
Where did you come from? Did she just pop up? Does he pop up, I'm assuming?
Swimming over.
I was
Yeah, you might not care.
Yep, now I'm here.
Okay, look, the problem is, if he eats these things, that's the only way we're going to get him to ingest the poison. Unless you can miraculously coat it in a dagger and shove it in him, but if he's a demon prince, I'm not the one who wants to get that close.
I mean, we have those.
We could try a piece of fruit I have.
No.
What is with you and trying to give everyone your
You
damn
have
fruit?
You have one fruit. It's
Yeah, okay,
it's the
well, I'm
good
running
fruit.
out of options on what we can feed him with poison on it.
What about our slings? Like, could we throw a rock in his mouth?
We could try.
I could just put it in his mouth with Mage Hand. That's my favorite spell.
Okay, so we could theoretically put them to sleep, douse them with the poison, and let nature take its course. Though the fact of the matter is we have to get the poison into the demon frog.
Yes, and I believe there are other ways besides dousing sleeping human beings.
You're the one who originally brought it up!
I know, it's an option. It's not what I like.
You brought up killing them and then covering them in poison. So
We could
don't
do
act
that
like,
too.
Don't act like Addie brought this up.
Also, let's not forget, these guys speak common.
Fair enough.
As we're all whispering about killing them.
Okay, so what we
They're in their own huddle. You hear.
We're saying this all in Elvish.
Anyway, so then we need some kind of plan to get back to where the demon frog is.
They take us there.
Okay, then how are we gonna get poison into the demon frog?
As long as I'm 30 feet away, I can use my Mage Hand.
We could just take the eggs.
Yeah.
We could, or we could find something else that's living, kill it, cover it in poison, throw it at the demon frog.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't have language.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying,
Look, don't act like this was the top solution. I was just saying it's a possible theory
Theo,
here.
do you remember why I got so hurt in the first Griffin fight?
Yes. Look, again, not my actual... Just a possible solution. I'm just...
You need to start thinking of other people more, Theo.
Okay!
damn. Eddie's witnessing this all.
They will speak up. Nay. You're concerning us with your secrecy. Stop.
Well, that was abrupt.
Just, no! Goes back to huddle.
Okay, are we just gonna... They're gonna take us there, we're gonna find something that doesn't hopefully speak a language.
Well, let's ask them.
Yeah, wait, what does it eat besides you?
Meat.
Any meat.
Any.
Where's a good place around here to get not dangerous meat?
Everything is dangerous in the swamps. But we can help you hunt.
Thank you.
That's what we need from you.
We can get him some cock meat.
You are a cold motherfucker, Theo.
I am a 14-year-old who's just gone through hell and back.
Man.
Yeah, okay, we had a great time.
So,
Theo has had an interesting character progression.
I'm not gonna do all the things.
Gets to be a worse person as he goes along.
Oh, come on, like it wasn't gonna happen.
with their help, you are able to find, hunt, and acquire the carcass of a giant lizard. The time it took to hunt this thing has left you at nighttime.
Okay. So I do ask them, can you lead us back to your village now? We have a plan.
Yeah. I can do that.
Thank you, Jeff.
I fist bump Jeff.
No problem. And he fist bumps you back.
I like that we only know who's talking because of Jeff.
I don't think I like Jeff.
And then, I'm Frogini! That's Frogini if you should want to talk to her.
Why does it sound like a Mario?
It's me, Frogini!
Frogini just went from the female of the group to the plumber.
Frogini also has a sister that only wears green that they all just call Green Frogini.
her name is Frogini Frogini. Her name is Lagini Frogini. It's really, really demoralizing. Now, Jeff begins to lead you further into the swamp.
Fucking Jeff.
This is actually beginning to take you north of the path that you've been following. And you come across this large area. You can actually start to hear a little bit of water running. It sounds like there might be some runoff from nearby swamps that are beginning to overflow and pour over. And you come to an outskirt, probably about 50 feet. He is going to tell you that inside, where our village stood, which was just simple tents and straw huts, Bufo destroyed. What we want back is our land. We don't know what happened to our people, but what we do know is that Bufo has taken up residence, and from what they were able to observe, there were things that Bufo coveted, and he put them inside of a local giant's skull.
In your village?
Correct. Ribbit.
Why'd you guys have that just laying around?
It was there when we migrated to this area. Who has dark vision?
Not
That is only going to be Zale.
Yep.
With that being said, Zale, roll me a perception check.
With our human eyes.
Wait, I'm very inhuman.
I see nothing. I mean, I rolled 2. I rolled real well on the D4, though.
To the best of what you can see, there's not much movement going around. The area you're in is mostly water. Even though parts that have land still have a small amount of water. That's about ankle deep in it. At the furthest point away, you see this massive skull. That head actually begins to reach the top of the canvas. You can look at it and you see there's one large hole right in the middle. There are not 2 eyes.
Oh, so it's a cyclops.
I tell them all that.
What do you want to do?
There's a skull, and we're assuming the frog is in the skull.
Yes.
Can I look around to see if I see, like, carcasses lying around?
Go ahead and roll me a perception with disadvantage.
Okay.
And -1
Investigate.
for your rod.
3!
With the heavy darkness, you're unable to really see anything.
Mm-hmm. We might be able to use that to our advantage, though.
You can probably see in the dark.
Yeah, okay, well, here's my thought. We take the lizard carcass, and we duck down into the water, and use the lizard carcass to cover us as we walk closer to him.
Do we get some straws so we can breathe into the water, too?
But what about that alligator? I mean, there's things that live in the water.
Ooh.
Are there?
There are. There's always things. Always assume everything's out to kill you, Theo. We're just, I mean, it could be, this could be the best water on Earth, but I'm going to assume that it's going to kill me the moment I touch it. It's not water, it's acid.
Okay, do you have a better idea of how to get closer to it?
Which way is the stream running?
From where you're at, it's coming from the northeast.
So it's going that way?
Correct.
So we can't float the lizard down to it.
We could go that way and do it.
Yeah, but wouldn't the poison wash off? And also, if we're going to be spending any extended amount of time in this swamp, I'd rather not be in a swamp that we've maybe diluted with poison.
Well, maybe we don't poison the lizard. We send the lizard out as bait, and then when it comes closer, We could get the poison to it then.
Then Addie could do the rock thing. We take one of our rocks, Mage hand a rock into his mouth when he's eating the lizard.
Okay, then let's go up to where the...
How much poison do we have, Addie?
Just the one vial, right?
Yeah, but how big of a vial?
You can get 4 uses out of it.
Oh, okay.
Let's go up to where the water's running from. Kind of float the lizard down, see if he takes the bait. Wait till he comes out, and then do it like that.
Yep.
Sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
You want to start moving to the northeast. Go ahead and start shuffling everyone that way. As you're kind of walking across this area that looks like it's just logs tied together that makes a small bridge to gap an area where a lot of scum and plants have then kind of building up there. It's kind of created a dam for that reason. As you kind of come to the end of that one, you do in fact see something moving near that area. And on the other side, you see what looks like another bullywog. Like Jeff, whom led you here. Though...
Well, that was ominous.
You can only kind of see him in... You can only see this creature in kind of a silhouette.
Who wants to go approach it?
Not I.
Nope.
Well...
You have fun, Eddie.
Everyone looks at the stealth guy. Rogue. Everyone looks at the rogue.
Yeah, I'll approach.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Yeah.
He's probably working for whether willingly or not.
Oh yeah, but I get 4 uses out of this poison. Alright, that is... Soft 20.
So as you begin to creep a little bit further forward, we'll bring you up to about here. And whatever this creature is, it doesn't seem to have noticed you. There's some small bugs that fireflies and a little bit of the moonlight kind of pierces through a good amount of these trees. You can see that this is in fact a bullywog. But there is something terrifying, a terrifying detail added to this one.
Oh no.
You can see that within its chest there is a writhing mass. It certainly doesn't look to be natural to the body, but it seems to be pulsing like some sort of large heart.
Like
Something
that thing Milo had?
Something like... No, it's not similar to that at all. Milo had one that appeared to be made of vines. This looks like something peeled off a portion or removed a portion of the chest, and there's just a large muscle beating there. Go roll me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, I have proficiency in that. Alright, that is soft 20 again.
When you see it just kind of surveying its area, it walks towards the water, it kind of lets out a noise. Its movements seem unnatural.
Okay, then.
This doesn't look like something moving of its own choice. Something alien is moving it.
Now, the mass and chest, does it seem like something that could be removed?
If you could get up to it, maybe do a medicine check, but from this distance, you can't really
Oh, okay.
Can't really get
I was
feet
going
on
to
it.
try to mage hand rip it off.
You could try.
Do it.
Because when you describe it, I just kind of imagine Justice League, the Dark Heart episode.
Yeah, the
The Starro?
Try it. Mage hand, try to rip it off. How do you want for that?
what I'm gonna have you do is roll an Arcana
Okay.
at disadvantage because you can't really do more than 10 pounds.
Okay.
But I'm gonna
This
make
thing's more than 10 pounds? The writhing mass in its chest?
Or just the amount of force necessary to move it, no matter what it
Okay.
is.
Well, lowest is 13.
you just kind of focus your hand to it, and you feel in your mind you can feel it attach. You see the body just kind of shake back, and as you just will it to move, you can feel beginning to kind of come out, but it releases, and your mage hand fades away. But you have alerted this thing, and it is going to quickly look over. What was your stealth check?
Soft 20.
Yes.
It does not see you, but you can see that it is alerted and on patrol, and it lets out another croak.
Well, fuck. Is it moving at all, or is it staying where it is?
It's beginning to patrol its area a little more aggressively.
Okay. This is a little waterfall here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have the lizard, or...
Why would you be stealthing with the lizard?
We're gonna say no because you'd have to do disadvantage with stealth
Alright.
because of that.
That's true. Get the lizard to me, and I just motion everybody to, like, come
I've got
closer.
20 stealth.
Closer. Just
Well, you can signal them to come a little bit closer if you want. Now, if the two of you do want to do that, give me stealth checks.
Just whoever's dragging the lizard do.
Were we all carrying it together?
Yeah.
Alright.
So I turned to Zale and I'm like... I grabbed the front of it and just...
With
Okay,
disadvantage.
how can we stealth that?
Carefully.
Are we doing it?
I'll come back and help drag the thing, so...
It's got to be disadvantage regardless.
Yeah, I figured. Well, actually, will they have a hard time getting it there without me, or... Oh,
No.
okay, then
No, it's enough that the two of them together can carry it.
fuck it, you guys can get it. I came out first. That means something. Oh, see, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, don't say that because I haven't rolled yet.
I was talking about him.
Okay, well, mine's not good.
16.
16?
8.
Zale? Okay.
I'm quiet.
The two of you move over to Addie's position. And as the two of you get there, Zale, you find a root underneath some of this water with your foot. And as you stumble, this lizard is slipping straight out of your hands. Mm-hmm. And I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw to try and catch this before it splashes down in the water.
Dex save. Alright, here we go. Not good. 5.
Zale hits the root, it begins to slide. She tries to grab down onto it, but her hands are still wet and muddy from being in the swamp all day. And just sploosh!
Welcome to Suna Island. Where you can stop and relax. For the rest of your life.